Hey there folks, Chompesk here bringing another audio commentary, and today we have a game that is an orc versus human on Twisted Meadows. Going to be a ladder game by the looks of things between YoChegga and bluecheese, and actually just looking at it, as we start out, these are really bad spawning positions for bluecheese. Yeah, basically, cause we can see he's already going for the power build altar, so he's probably going to be going for that very early archmage to go creep this camp very quickly. But really, it's just so close to this spawning position. If our orc here decides to scout this out, he will be more than able to get off a good creep jack off and get a couple militia kills. Uh, Probably not a creep kill. We'll have to see how he wants to play it out, and certainly that does assume he's going for Blade Master first. Whereas this is one of the few maps where actually one can get away with the Farseer first, and we do have this Archmage already on the way. We can see how quick that is compared to the Blade Master or other hero, I suppose, from the Orc, which hasn't even, the altar hasn't even finished, and the Archmage is already a third of the way done. So this is a very good build. You can see you also have to power build this altar just to get those footmen as well, because otherwise you're just fighting with too many militia, and you bring all your lumber militia and often a couple of your gold ones as well. And actually, very fortunately here for our human, the orc hasn't yet scouted, so he won't know where to go. He is getting a Blade Master, which is a very good hero for this sort of thing, and is finally now scouting now, but will it be too late? Obviously, once he scouts that he isn't in this position here, it will be a 50-50 chance, and will he just go for it, or will he just do some conservative creeping? We'll have to see. He is now getting a second burrow as well as his first grunt, so it's going to be a very centered opening. We can see a lot of militia being brought, leaving 5 in gold. So some players like Envy just like to bring a couple more militia, but it looks like that's not going to be the case here. And now we are going to see hopefully a lot of tanking here on this water elemental. Needs to pull this one militia back soon, hopefully, but we'll have to see whether or not. Yeah, it looks like he has managed to divert focus anyways, and the Blade Master is going to be popping up very soon. There he is here, and what's he going to be doing very critically? Is he going to be going for that creep jack? Yes, it looks like he will be going for it. Ideally, he would have got this out, and so would be able to, or would be wind walking there, but obviously doesn't want to risk it in case there's nothing there. And we do have this Archmage hitting level 2, getting boots plus 6, the worst item he could get. And it looks like the Blade Master is going to be able to make it in, and probably get 3 peasant kills here, maybe. Well, actually, he goes for the creep but misses it, so he does eventually have to give up and go for footman. Does get 2 already. Go for peasants rather. Does get 2. Will go for a third and will be able to get it there, and won't be able to get anything else. Unfortunately, he did miss that one that was at half health. But still, he is at 75 experience now, so that is very nice there for him, considering that he really hasn't spent anything at all to get there, apart from his mana, but really that's not too important for Nork at this stage, whereas the human spent a huge amount of money power building, lost 3 peasants, which he's going to have to rebuild before he starts his tech. Really nice start here for this orc, and we now have, this one creep, very close there. I wonder if the human's actually trying to bait the orc in there, trying to trick him to coming in too close, then getting that last kill himself, and also getting some free shots there off on that Blade Master. Meanwhile, this water elemental now down to very low health. Will the human deny? Yes, he does. Very nice play there. And now this Blade Master being forced back yet again. We can see he's still at 75 experience, so hasn't managed to get anything else, and has lost a lot of time. Meanwhile, this Archmage, all he needs to do now is creep out this camp here, and we'll get a level 3, and that's very fortunate, unless the Blade Master can come in and steal some creeps. Bear in mind, just enough mana for 1 Windwalk, so maybe he can be able to steal 1 creep. That water elemental will immediately going down. Obviously, the purges and stuff, very useful against water elementals if the creeps happen to hit them. And we do now have this Blade Master. Looks like he's going to go for that creep jack. The Archmage being chased away by the grunts, and a reveal being used there. Very nice. It's going to be enough to keep this Blade Master on the defensive for a little bit at least. He's going to get him down to low health. Bear in mind, he doesn't have enough mana for another Windwalk, so when he does try and steal this creep, he may be put in a bad position. Another reveal being used now very quickly. He's going to have to try and get this creep kill, and will he be able to? Yes, he does. He's probably not going to be able to get the item. The Blade Master is blocked there by the huge number of units, and it looks like another peasant does go down there for bluecheese, but at last it's all for nothing. This Blade Master should be able to get away, unless there's some sort of very big mistake here, but no, he will be able to get away. We can see he's been so aggressive. He hasn't even sold his TP, and actually that's a circle there, so very much worth picking up for either player. But this Blade Master now going to have to go back and heal, but he is only level 1, but still it's very important to get that healing going on as soon as possible now, and he is at the exact opposite side of the map, so really not in a great position there, being also level 1 compared to the level 3 Archmage here, and look, we will be having a plus 8 agility Archmage, just far too much agility really for what the Archmage needs. So probably going to be selling this boot to Quel'Thalas pretty soon, and maybe even keeping the circlet, because the circlet's an item that really stays quite good, especially when you get a couple units. Oh, nice around there by Blue Cheese. They're getting that nice grunt around. Good to be able to get one grunt kill, and we'll be able then to get out of here. Meanwhile, we do have this Shadow Hunter on the way, but looks like Blue Cheese good to be able to get out. Maybe not going to lose any more footmen here. Doesn't look like it. Actually, good to go for this Blade Master now. Very gutsy here play by Blue Cheese. He does have a dust, and his Archmage obviously can get off some lucky hits. Maybe he can do something, but it looks like he's gone into Windwalk form and is healing up, so he will be okay. But he is having to leave his grunts to take a lot more damage than he'd really like to, especially considering he's already lost one grunt. So a very gutsy play here by Blue Cheese, really being very aggressive after being harassed quite successfully at the beginning. We can see his tech is still only partially done, and that's just a result of having lost 4 peasants at the start of this game, or at least 4 peasants overall so far. And will he be able to sacrifice his grunt to the creeps? No, it looks like he's just going to run into the corner, waste a bit more of that Archmage's time, and in the meantime this Blade Master now has healed up fairly nicely. Ooh, and a staff right here into the base. Very clever play here by our Orc player YoChegga, and just go along to do constant damage. Reveal's being used, but there's looks like Blue Cheese isn't actually capitalizing on this, finally bringing his militia in, and in the meantime we do have this the human army just marauding around in the middle, trying to catch a Shadow Hunter out, and oh, the Shadow Hunter's going to run straight past by the looks of things. Blade Master now going to try and get a couple more footman kills here. Obviously the footman can run through the gaps and get out, and looks like that's exactly what's going to happen at the last second. Very nice. Meanwhile, this one peon which was used to staff in has been killed, so this Blade Master is going to be trapped in the back of the base until the staff runs out or until the TP is used. We know we do have hexes being used on footmen, and it looks like a couple footmen, or one footman's been taken down already, another one going to be taken down soon, and so that's going to be a nice chunk of experience here for the Shadow Hunter. We know this Blade Master now down to very low health, will be forced in the back of his base, and another reveal will have to be used, but a guard tower is up, Griffin Aviary on the way as well, and this is going to be immediately scouted out here by our Orc player, and yet again the Shadow Hunter continues to be on the run. This Archmage still at full health, and the Blade Master now taking a lot of damage. No more mana for Windwalk. Does have a healing potion, but will be trying to staff home in a very brief period of time when that cooldown is done, and at that point he will be able to get out of here very successfully, having done a lot of harassment, and now a nice bit of damage can be able to be done to this Archmage, and also chase the Archmage away, and both these water elementals will go down very quickly, and that's going to be another nice little bit of experience. We can see this Shadow Hunter already at 60 experience there, presumably 40 from a footman kill and then 20 from a split footman kill when both the heroes were away. And it looks like a dust being used here. This Blade Master now under a lot of pressure, should be staffing out really at this point. Probably not too much more damage can be done, especially with his Archmage here. No second hero coming out. Oh no, the Mountain King's already out here. I see. So oh no, looks like he's staffed his Blade Master out, but now the Shadow Hunters come in, possibly try and get some healing waves off, and well, I guess he would need level 2 first, but still, looks like this Blade Master finally going to be able to do a bit more damage to the actual army, but unfortunately he's just too low on health, and the risk of bolts is just too high, so he does have to run back, and this grunt will take a bit of damage, but probably will be able to get away unless another bolt is used. Oh, maybe he will get caught up here. Looks like the army hasn't turned on to get off any hexes or anything, so this grunt will be taken down in due time, and that's going to be very nice, because the Archmage now getting quite close to level 4, and that level 2 mana regeneration is so useful for that Mountain King, because those bolts, when you're going for bolts against Orc, you need to have a huge number of them, because it's really that you need to keep that Blade Master out of the battle for as long as possible, and the bolt's stun duration isn't too long, but the cooldown is quite short as well, so as long as you have the mana, you can just keep on bolting, and we occasionally see players go for Thunderclap as their second and fourth skill option for the Mountain King, because often you're fighting against grunts and raiders, so they all do tend to pack together quite a lot, and you can hit quite a few of them, but certainly that can be quite subjective depending on what items you pick up, and how you're feeling and how your army composition is going to look, whereas clearly we have an air-based army here, possibly. Actually, no, it's not going to be only air-based, so we do have this Arcane Sanctum going up, as well as a Shredder being bought, so Thunderclap probably not going to be as useful as Bash. Really conserve that mana for getting the bolts off on Blade Masters and Raiders in particular. And looks like we do have an expansion attempt. Going to go down here for Blue Cheese. The Orc now running straight, looks by looks things to the human space. Going to try and do a bit of damage. Very nice items here on the Blade Master. Going to be able to do a lot. Oh, the Shredder being got out here. Shredders give so much experience. It's such a shame this is going to happen. Maybe he'll be able to get away. Oh, he actually hexes the priest, but Ensnare finally comes in, so he's actually going to be able to get both kills there. That's very nice. And the Shredder now turning around and going to be able to stall for a bit of time here, but this expansion hasn't even started building yet, and the human's gonna have to run home, and maybe we'll see some harassment now on the expansion if the orc has to TP out of this, but still no sorts in the army, just that one priest which did die, so not too scary an army here from the human. Maybe should be pulling some militia at this point as well. It could be very, very nice against the raider especially, and also with the bolts, it's just so easy to get those nice surrounds. And we do now have the orc doing quite a lot of damage. You're going to be able to get this one water elemental as well. Could even use an ensnare to try and keep it out of the range of the rest of the human's army, but it looks like it does go down anyways. And we do still have, finally, sorts being produced here for the human. This is just going to be so important for slowing down that Blade Master and keeping the grunts and raiders off your back a bit. Looks like the hex or the ensnare goes off on the Dragonhawk Rider and on the Mountain King, but eventually the Mountain King gets away. The Dragonhawk Rider, not so lucky, will go down very, very quickly, and that's so sad here for this human player who really needed that, because there's not too much anti-air. There's obviously only the Spirit Walkers and the Shadow Hunters, so it's nice to do a bit of damage there and know that that unit can't be damaged too much. Ooh, will we see a Zeppelin being bought here? It will be very, very close to this Raider now. Going to be able to ensnare. It looks like no Zeppelin going to be very, very useful here. So instead the human going to be forced to TP out. He's in a very good position to do a bit of damage before he tries to get out of here. A reveal actually being used here. That's very, very interesting. I wonder if he's worried about the Blade Master trying to get away or something from a bolt, but unfortunately it's not enough. And the Zeppelin actually being bought here by the human player. Oh, but it does get ensnared immediately. That's a very, very big mistake here by the human player, who does now have to TP out. Looks like we will be having this Zeppelin gonna get away with low health, and he does indeed. So a bit of wasted money there, but still that was sort of inevitable. And if he can do some damage now with the Zeppelin, it's not going to be too much of a waste. The biggest loss I think for him really was that Shredder, which is just it was just so important now that he's on 2 bases. And bear in mind, all that time he was taking damage, he was buying a lot of time as well. So maybe that's what he was thinking with just going back here and trying to waste as much time as possible. Meanwhile, this orc player is at 49 food, is going to be going for a push compared to the 31 food of the human. So really, a lot of harassment can be done now, and it just needs to keep on the constant pressure. No point in creeping at this point, because even though you could creep better, you're just so far behind in the economy. You have to keep on doing damage, and we can see he's going straight for the keep now. Going to take a bit of damage on his Blade Master, and he will be obviously slowing the raiders, as we can see, because those are the best things to slow, because they do a lot of damage and you can slow them for a long period of time. Speed Claw actually being used here, probably going to hope for a quick escape afterwards, but unfortunately it looks like it's not to be. It looks like a huge number of peasants are repairing this keep, and we do now have the pillage having been researched, so the orc is getting a lot of money from this. Now militia being called. Looks like the keep is going to go down finally, and a TP is forced to be used though, because we can see all the units very, very low. One grunt does go down, but the rest of the army does manage to get away, and YoChegga going to be very, very happy with his position now. Really should probably be trying to play a bit of a longer game now that he knows he can survive it, and not worry too much about immediate pressure, because the human has to rebuild his base. There's really no option about that, and at the moment we do have almost no lumber, which is why this militia were called, because actually he did lose that Shredder, which is proving to be very, very critical at this point. And so he will have to, once his peasants go out in militia form, because obviously he can't bring them back without the town hall nearby, he will have to just start mining lumber like crazy until he has enough to finally get up and to finally get up his main again. And this Archmage is now level 4, and level 2 is still only on this Mountain King. So this creeping won't get any more new levels, but we'll get some nice items. At this point, gold isn't too important, so probably better just to buy some more items, and maybe even try and buy some mercs at this point. Just because he will have lots and lots of gold to spend, and most mercs at least aren't too lumber intensive, so that can be pretty useful in a clutch situation like this, where you just need to survive a bit while you rebuild your expansion, while you rebuild your main, I guess. And Blade Master, meanwhile, going to be creeping out the rest of the camp, actually picking up a ton of experience, but also I'm surprised he's bringing in the Blade Master here. Seems like it'd be better to a bit of harassment. Ooh, +6 agility there for that Blade Master. Very, very nice hit him there for him. And we do have this Shadow Hunter with almost no items, so not too brilliant overall, because the Shadow Hunter items are so critical to have some good items there, and actually not very many good items. This Mountain King does have a Flute of Accuracy, and the human army does tend to be mostly range, so that's going to be very, very useful, but still it's probably not quite enough at this point. And we do now have this as a bit more creeping here from our human player, who really, as I say, needs to buy some time. Actually, still isn't rebuilding this, but instead putting up lots and lots of towers here. Very surprised by this. I think really his first priority at this point should be trying to get that back up and running, but maybe he's just too worried about the pressure here. But he must at this point have the requisite lumber. Actually, oh, he's actually now short on gold. It's a bit unfortunate there for him. Probably should start selling those items then, I guess. But he just spent so much on all these towers. and which are now going to start to go down, and he can't even TP in because he doesn't have a base here, so he's going to have to either run back or TP to his expansion. But at this point, really, he is going to put everything in the Zeppelin. Actually, interesting choice, and maybe going to try and drop in the base in the back to try and take out some burrows and try and make it one base versus 0 bases. But still, it's going to take not too long for the Orc to clean up the rest of these towers, and then these buildings are going to go down very, very quickly to the Raiders, who are now 1-2 upgraded. And with the 2 coders as well, that's a bunch of extra damage, and the Berserker actually going to do a whole bunch of damage to these towers. So really nice army composition here for this Orc player. And finally now this drop going down the back of the Orc space is going to take down a couple peons, and then going to have to go for those burrows. But bear in mind all his casters are going to take huge damage from the huge number of piercing, a huge amount of piercing damage from the burrows. So he does need to be very, very careful with how he plays this out and how he positions his casters especially. And let's look at his Mountain King actually levels up to level 3. That level 2 bolt's so important always. And we do not have the casters now being dropped back down. Does need to start healing up his Archmage, so he does need to get that priest on the ground. And it looks like 4 more peons going to go down. But at the same time, bear in mind, he does still have this, the human does still have this expansion up. Even has 1 tower here and is starting to tech as well. So we will be maybe seeing a slightly longer game here, but still, this Orc with a huge advantage at this point. But he does have pillage, so I guess it's not a terrible idea to sacrifice some of his base and then TP back, because he's not actually taking too much damage here on his base, just losing some burrows. And as long as he can rebuild peons, which obviously he can, because he's getting so much money from all of this pillage, he will be able to rebuild. And at that point, he's just going to have such a strong army that it's going to be very, very hard for this human to do absolutely anything at all. And now we do have these last actually couple of peons going to go down, and the last burrow going to go down as well by the looks of things. So it will just be fortified armored buildings, which magic damage is absolutely terrible against, and piercing damage is terrible against. So really the heroes are going to be the only things that can do damage here. So this is the point, I think, where the human needs to turn around. He's done really as much damage as he can hope to do, and he is actually loading up into his Zeppelin, and now needs to make a miracle defense here at this expansion, which is now, I guess, his main, because he has lost pretty much everything here. He has lost everything there. So the human now going to have to try and do some very, very impressive defense here. Going to need to keep on repairing this. He does have a bit more lumber than he had last time, and his gold income, which is going to be very, very useful. So he will be able to repair probably for a bit longer, because he isn't buying loads more units. Scroll of the Beast being used now by the human, but it looks like, oh, the keep is going to go down. Maybe, I guess it's still Town Hall, actually. It doesn't have the and health of the keep quite yet, and it looks like the Orc is going to turn around. He has been slowed massively, so a couple good bolts could go down. Looks like 1 goes down on this Raider. Good thing to try and bolt, because Raiders are so annoying when you just have a fixed number of units, because they just keep on ensnaring 1. And it looks like we do have 1 nice inbound pop being used here by this Mountain King. Going to be able to keep him in the battle in the front lines, where he can try and get off more bashes, and even using the Zeppelin now to pick up the Mountain King and get it to the back. So he should drop it as soon as possible. Yeah, he does drop it there, because he does need to get the benefits of the Archmage's aura to get maximum usability. He does go for a bolt there on this Berserker, but now this Orc is going to start to plow through things. Looks like we do even have a Muggle being bought here by this human player. As I say, just mercs are such a good thing to buy. Nice pick up here with the Zeppelin, picking up that low Mountain King, and now transporting him to the back, where all these peasants are forming a nice little line. But the Archmage now taking a lot of damage, getting level 5 though, and these towers are actually starting to do a lot of damage to this Orc army. But there's just such an overwhelming force here from this Orc. Bear in mind, all the mana here on the Shadow Hunter and the Blade Master has been lost to this 1 Arcane Tower. Very, very nice focusing there by that human player. And now, he could actually try and go for a peasants around here on this Blade Master. Probably wouldn't work out too well, but really at this point he needs to get something good. This Blade Master now does need to worry of bolts. The Mountain King will have enough mana in a couple seconds time to get off another one, and at that point really that's really the big the vulnerability. He does have this inbound pop, but obviously you can't use that if you don't time it perfectly against the bolt. And it looks like a mass repair job going off in this 1 tower, trying desperately to keep it alive. It does actually, the tower does huge amount of damage to all the units that are left. And nice pickups here with that Zeppelin, and a bolt goes off, and oh, it does take down the Blade Master. And now really this Orc's gonna have to turn around. Huge defense here by this player, and oh, he even gets a last hit there with his Archmage, so he gets a bit more experience. The Mountain King now gonna really want to go on the offensive. Look how low all these units are for the Orc player. The Orc player does have a lot of gold in the bank, so maybe, actually no, he doesn't have the supply to buy back his Blade Master though at the tavern, so he will have to try and just buy up some items out of things. And a nice Zeppelin play here. The Zeppelin proving to be so useful. I thought it wasn't going to be useful at all. Now blue cheese being revealed, and looks like we do have a lot of the Zeppelin does need to survive, because otherwise if obviously if the Zeppelin drives over trees, then the heroes will just die. Otherwise, they will just be dropped and slowed massively. And really, at that point, I think the Orc would be best just to run away. But actually, look, he's continuing to push forward here. I think he just wants to win the base race as quickly as possible. Obviously, the heavy armor from the towers take extra damage from the Spirit Walkers. If you can actually do that, if you can actually do more damage than the repairs going off. And look, I think, oh, these two low heroes coming in. The bolt goes off here on the level 5 Shadowhunter. Does have enough for one more heal, but he just used one, so he might be still on cooldown. Yes, it looks like he is. So the Shadowhunter just gonna be forced to run forward here. The Mount King going to try and give chase, and he does have enough mana for another bolt here, so it might well be enough. Meanwhile, these last couple units being cleared up here. Very nice defense here by the human. Finally, that healing wave being used on by the Shadowhunter, and now, oh, look at this, we have a couple burrows being built back here, so the base race, the Blade Master can be bought back quickly. And looks like one of them was killed, and so that's going to leave the Orc player with enough, 13 out of 20, so that's enough to buy back his Blade Master. But he does have the gold and the lumber requisite, so he will be able to do that. Very nice play here. Will this be enough though? I'm amazed actually, I didn't see those burrows at all, and so that's very nice there for him. And we do have the Blade Master now being bought back here, so maybe the Orcs could be able to stay in this game, but the Archmage now almost level 6, actually very impressive, and if he gets to level 6 that could cause huge problems. But oh, the Blade Master now running straight past the Mount King now going to have to hide. Look at that, he's using his Cloak of Shadows to try and stay out of this for as long as possible. But oh, looks like he does manage to pass an invuln pot there. Very close play there, and looks like another bolt goes down. Will it be enough to try and take down the Blade Master? Looks like it will be able. Oh no, the TP goes off at the last second, and now all the heroes are very low health. Will the Mountain King go down, or will the Shadowhunter? No, the Shadowhunter doesn't manage to take him down, leaving them at 16 health. And now this this human army is consisting of two really low health heroes, and oh my god, how the Shadowhunter, oh my god, there's a water element at the base which killed the Shadowhunter. Oh my god, I didn't even see that happening, and that gave the Archmage level 6, which is going to allow the Archmage to try and put on a lot more pressure here, and he mass TPs in just the Archmage so that they can get the Vengeful Surround here, get the Blade Master kill, and that's going to be that. What an amazing ending, or as YoChegga says, what a bullshit game. So, oh my god, that was absolutely crazy. Such nice play there by that human player, just being so on top of things. And unfortunately, no GG as such, but certainly I think it was a GG. Very nice game, and wow, what an ending there. So smart play with bringing in just that Archmage. I was wondering why he hadn't mass TP'd in the Mount King, but then obviously it was just so that when the Blade Master ran, he would have something to run into, and that was just so perfect there by that human player. Really, he was so far behind at about 3/4 way through that game, but that heroic defenses expansion just really saved him. But so I hope you enjoyed that game, and I'm not actually sure when I'll be able to bring you more games in the future. I'm moving about a bit, so we'll see when that happens, and I very much look forward to bringing you some more Warcraft 3 when I can. Thanks, folks.